Hey, buddy. Oh. Alright. Alright, I need to grab this. One, 8, 1, 9, 2. I feel like I'm inputting a code into a safe. Normal fast, type 2. Pop this out. Pop you. Zoop. Zoop. All right. Start the recording. Bring up the timer. Yep. All right, boys. It is time to break the limit. Or limit B, whichever. I hate B. Guy is a jerk. Alright. So me and the boys are here to show Dragon Quarter after an entire decade of it not being at the event. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has been just that long. Thanks to Games Committee for giving us another shot at the Apple, since Dragon Quarter is a less liked title, unfortunately. It is a very, very cool game. The game itself is a very much of a prototype, I'd say roguelike. It's the easiest way to convey what it actually is, despite it not being very on the mark. The way that the game functions is when you start the game, it sets your seed, and that will determine what monster pattern and box pattern you have for each floor. Boxes will be our treasure chests that we can open for free by hitting them. There are some chests that we actually have to open with keys, but those are floor-by-floor basis, and killing a certain enemy gives you access to the key. We'll go over that a little bit later when it becomes more pertinent. But for now, there are 2 enemy patterns, 2 box patterns, and if you're really good at the game, you check out the seeds that you're looking for and aim for that set of frames to start. Unfortunately, that's very difficult, and in a marathon setting, it's just not viable. If you practice on a specific seed. We are going to be buying some power-up items. Well, that's not true. We're going to be powering up some... Alright, let's try that again. We're going to buy some items here. You can call them bait and call them traps, whichever you would like. I flip-flop between the two because, as far as I'm concerned, there's no distinction. I think the game calls them traps innately, but... there's bait items like meat and a flavor of mushrooms, either confuse, sleep, or poison. Rotten meat. I want to say there's one other I'm forgetting, but probably not. Those will attract enemies. Rotten meat will make enemies run away. Does not work on humans or machines. So bait will be used for a decent portion to get enemies together or get them out of our way so that we can safely pass by. There are trap items that do damage to enemies. Right now, we only have access to bombs, but if we ignite those in combat, they do a significant amount of damage, so we're more than happy to take bombs. Now, one of the interesting things is if you're standing still, you set the item down, but if you're running, you throw the item, which can make it a little bit frustrating because the throwing... it depends on more the internal value, so sometimes it'll feel like you're standing still, but you threw it. Basically, take it slow and steady. There's a few rooms where you really can't afford to do that. So you'll see here that they're just running at the bait, regardless of me being right behind them. That's kind of the gimmick, which is nice. Like I said, it doesn't work on humans and machines, so we'll have to force our way through those segments a little bit differently. But for now, we can throw bait and make our lives super duper easy. Every other floor is a little bit barren in terms of things we have to interact with, for better or worse. In terms of a casual playthrough, it is nice to have a little bit of a relax. Because a lot of these fights, early game, I mean, even in general, tend to slog out a bit if you're not on a New Game Plus run, where you get to keep whatever equipment and bonus EXP you haven't already spent. Ooh, speaking of, Party EXP is what it's actually called, and that can be distributed to any character at any time, as long as you're not currently in combat. And we'll be able to focus our leveling structure so that we can get optimal levels on our party to get us where we need to go, and be able to actually kill bosses efficiently. Okay. Well, AB Plus is okay. I would like to see the Power Meal or Reflex item. Reflex will increase my speed by 1, which makes it so that the second-to-last boss can't outspeed me. And the Power Meal will just basically give me a level's worth of strength, so it ends up closing up some annoying damage ranges that we just kind of have to deal with throughout the run. AP Plus works here because it'll give us 1 extra attack in the next boss fight, making it a little bit safer. So one of the things is enemies can't run through bombs, so as long as I place that first one down efficiently, the big guy can't bonk me there. Sometimes these guys do drop bombs, which is nice, but not super common. This room is why I buy a litany of meat, because trying to get all these guys together is dang near impossible. Okay, that's gonna be my fault. As long as we survive here, I don't care. Hit. Thank you. Now, Mama Nugget, I think, outspeeds Bosch here, so we'll have to wait another turn. Please hit Bosch again. Alright, good. Bosch is leaving the party anyway. We are going to lose some bonus EXP because we didn't kill on turn 0, which is the EX turn. But we get some EXP back by killing all of the nuggets together. Plus the 30 party EXP, I should be able to hit level 7. Not 100% on that, though. Though we did get a chest drop there, or a briefcase, whatever you would like to call it. What that is a weapon, shield, or armor. The game will show you the little icon, but it will give you question mark, question mark, question mark until you take it to a weapon vendor, or the identifier shop, and get it identified for 100 zenny, and then decide what to do with it. For the most part, any equipment drops is just pure cash to us. There's very few that actually swing the needle in a beneficial way. Ideally, we're looking for a Celtis +1, which can't spawn yet, so any swords are garbage right now. Strong and Ranger plus, like, 3 or 4 can get us... Buster Sword as well can get us through the late game, but it's not the perfect choice. But really what we're looking for is armor. Armor is the same identify cost, but usually sells for a minimum 500-600, something like that. So we make a decent amount of money. Yeah, Ranger Edge plus 4 or 5. Sounds about right. Luckily, we have a couple of bites at the apple for that better weapon. And the mid-game gives us a guaranteed weapon shop, so it'll make the mid-game a lot safer. I don't have to worry about spiking a lucky sword. It's once we get into the end game that we are kind of at the mercy of what our seed was, because the shop is also determined by the seed. Luckily, there are some that are just guaranteed to be X, or their pool is similar enough so that the items that we're looking for are always going to be there, or there's going to be at least one shop that sells the items we need, like more bombs or such forth. It's a little bit of bonus EXP, so I'll take it since I messed up the previous fight. That should help push me into level 7, even if I don't get the lucky box. Plus, they drop heal kits, which is nice. You said something about throwing this, but I haven't had a chance to practice that. Power boost! Alright, that saves some time on the boss. I gotta be careful about my movement here so I don't say hello to these silly nuggets. I could identify my item here, but I don't need the money just yet. Yeah, the last time was the first time I've messed that up. I don't know what exactly happened. I've almost like 99% of the time I see that nugget get caught in the corner, so it's weird. Kingdom Hearts next? If it is Kingdom Hearts, it'll be Birth by Sleep at some point. I think I'm going to be cycling back to Remake and Rebirth. New game. So, Scape, Panacea. Okay, buy bombs. Maybe buy all 4 then. How many meats do I have? 7? That's fine. Okay. 7 meats should get us to the next floor, because the vendor does sell meats there, which is very uncommon. It has crossed my mind before, but Birth by Sleep is the... Yep. We're going to dump our party EXP into Ryu here. 160 should be enough to get me... Yep. Not going to bother putting any more in, because it won't make a difference. Level 7 is nice here, plus the AP plus is pretty nice. BoF5 is interesting, too, because of the, they found a new glitch where they can, like, corrupt items by trying to use something and then running away. So, we'll see what happens with that. I'm gonna skip our turn here because we want to store up our strength. We gotta take a hit here no matter what. Then I also need to make sure I use my power boost as well, or else we're not gonna save time. Take my shield off here for increased accuracy and speed. And here we go. Want to slice once at a time here to make sure I don't push too far. Alright, we should be fine. Outspeed. Nice! Alright, perfect fight. So Power Boost, it makes our regular attack do enough damage that we can just spam the basic attack instead of doing the normal combo. Nice crit. So that saves quite a bit of time because the animations are much quicker than threading a combo together. Equip. Gonna take Nina's ring off. Ryu's gives him a speed debuff. If it's... well... Ryu's gives a speed debuff and an accuracy penalty. But, yeah, I mean, Birth by Sleep is probably the one I'll pick up if I do, because I have fond memories of that game and then go from there. I do also like the 358 by 2. But Nina's ring gives her a AP penalty, where she just straight up has 10 less AP, which is just garbage. Her damage highly depends on how her AP being maxed out, so the ring is a really bad thing to keep equipped. We get Lynn here, or Cat, depending on how you want to look at it. Cat gives us another item page and a pop-up in this room, not the room I was just in. That box can have some good stuff in it, but if it's in that position, it's rare that it's useful. You know, I probably should have bought more meat, but whatever. So this danger room is one of the worst ones because spiders eat meat really quickly. But so you have to be very precise about your movement here. I swear, if one of them... okay. Sometimes one gets wedged in that corner. If you move too far back, the bomb doesn't do anything. Oh my... I got camera scam, dude. This is my fault because I let go of my D-dash for no particular reason. Luckily, now that we've leveled up Nina, she's so fast, I can take my turn immediately. Okay. Guys. Hello? Yeah, I gotta wait for her. Okay. I was trying to do something stupid there. I outplayed myself pretty heavily. The spider's room is really annoying. I think we'll go grab the meat. Yeah. 4 is just enough to do the next danger room if it's the hard version. So I'd like to have an extra meat just in case. Normally you only need 1 meat for the spider setup, but I usually use 2 just to make it a little bit easier. Oops. +1, that's probably a weapon, because you're not going to normally see +1 armor at this point. The big point of armor is they all usually have, like, either elemental or status resistance. until you get to, like, the final best armors in the game, and they'll give you 100% status resistance. Probably should buy Lynn's ultimate armor instead of the one that I have on her right now for the New Game Plus final, though. Alright, so aside from letting myself get sucked into a spider fight because I'm a big dumb face, pretty decent so far. Did throw away all the time I saved on the Power Boost Cyclops doing that, though. Luckily, Cyclops is the only boss we have to fight without Dragon, so the rest of the fights are going to go fairly quick. The doors, when you're D-dashing, also, it doesn't allow you to interact with anything. So you have to release it and then hold a button to interact with stuff. So there is a bit of skill min-maxing the D-dash here. Also, you want to start your D-dash after you've been walking for a bit. I also can't D-dash in here because it's not a combat zone. To actually get to full speed a little bit quicker. Because if you just raw start your D-dash, you'll kind of do a little bit of a spin out. Where you're like kicking your feet but not moving. Excuse me? No way. Oh my god, he is? Okay, well, I guess I gotta open that up now. Alright, I'm gonna turn that down. So we're fighting Bosch and the boys here. We're gonna sit down a G-Flare with Nina. Her basic spell is more of a trap than it is magic. Enemies have to walk into it for it to do damage. Unfortunately, doing that spider fight did lose her a bit of HP, but with 66, she's not the risk of dying unless she gets shot here as well. So we will heal her up after the next boss fight. But luckily, the dragon being immune to damage here is dope. So we're going to layer 3 G-Flares here. They'll do a little bit over 40 damage to Bosch per. Up to 50 in some cases, which is going to allow me to save a lot of dragon. What am I doing? There you go. Luckily, I get to show off a little bit of Lynn's kit here, too. She starts with Out of My Way, which allows her to push enemies around. It is 20 AP a pop, but it is ranged, so it's a lot better. Thanks, IM. Thanks, Shinryu. Thanks, Strife. Thanks, Rex, for dropping by. Appreciate it. Now we gotta hit a deep breath here. Ugh, that's a bit unfortunate. Ugh, bad deep breath. I let go too soon, and unfortunately it does have a bit of fall off, so I let that go a little bit harder than I needed to. Luckily, it's not quite as bad as doing the no flare strat, but that is the biggest time loss there. Okay, I believe. Ha-ha! The setup worked! Ha-ha-ha-ha! Ha-ha-ha-ha! We're gonna throw that power meal on now, because if I undershoot this, I'll just slash things out. Ideally, I don't need to use it yet, because D-Breath should just be killing everything. Eating good today. Yeah, I found that that setup is somewhat reasonable. If I manage to hit it through there, it's a pretty good chance that I hit the right frame count. The only downside is I have to walk through the frickin' all around the thing to find out if I was right or not. So one power meal's nice. That's basically +1 level, and it's going to help close up a bunch of damage ranges later, or at least massively reduce the chances of not damaging. The next half really comes down to what weapons I get my hands on. We can do this room a little bit faster by going up the right side, but there will always be spiders on the bridge. Oh, we'll take the bomb in the heal pit, actually. Free bomb is a free bomb. We need to buy 30 in the next shop, so picking up a free bomb here is pretty dope. Oh, is it varying stat growth? Okay, gotcha. Oh boy, we got the fun pattern. Get out of my way. Excuse me. Sure. Alright, if I use this again, surely the game will drop another one to punish me for using it prematurely. So this is why I wanted to go grab that other piece of bait. Because this room is really annoying. I gotta chase him to the other side of the room. Do that. Do this. Then I need to shoot them off the ledge. Okay, everything is in the fight now. So I need to set a bomb here. Then I want to do this. I want to make sure to initiate the fight from the center to make sure I get everybody in the fight. And then we want to hit for about 310 here. The problem is the lower the damage, the harder it is to bingo. So we're going to try. Oops. We're going to do this. There we go. Whatever. B-I-N-G-O, that ain't, but whatever. Give me my pennies. I'll take that back, too. You don't necessarily have to pick up every meat you throw, but, yeah. The only downside is, you have to shoot a second beam, so you have to watch the wind-up animation twice. But, it's better than overshooting your D counter. There's some days where I've been bingoing these recently, and then other days where it's just not gonna happen. I get the feeling I'm gonna be so tense, I'm gonna let go of it early at the event, since it's so early on. I'll have to, like, grind in the back room before I run. At least I got a couple of runs to get my head in the game. I think I have a general idea of what I want to do with KH. I jumped in there again. I just need to, like, proof it a few more times. And then, no. It's definitely not going to be a power meal. I know better. Keep it chill, yeah. I mean, I've done enough runs for the event that I can turn off the fuck me, holy shit, cornhole the shit out of me. I can... Anti-vape bat! Alright, so we get into the gas hole here. Unfortunately, not hitting level 8 with Ryu means Lynn's most likely going to outspeed me here. I think only level 8 Ryu can outspeed her. Yeah. We would normally do some shopping before this boss, but we've recently realized it's faster to wait till after. Because all the vendors are below, or in the next passageway together, so it's very nice. It's just level 8 then? Okay. So we're gonna hit for about 600 here. That's better. Okay, I wasn't sure if level 7 had a chance. But yeah, we will be selling all our shields because we won't be using them. The only shields that really are decent are the ones that have a skill thread slot in them, because they don't come with massive penalties. But the problem is getting shield skills is very obnoxious, and most of them really aren't good, because they trigger on hit. And since we're not planning on getting hit, you know? Alright, I think I was right opening that on the way back. So we're going to buy 30 meat, 30 bombs here. We have enough cash. No way we don't. Taskmaster. Ah! Alright, we got some stuff to sell here. This shield was worthless. Ooh, heavy suit +2. Oh, wait, those are guaranteed. I'm being stupid. Plasma is worth a ton. Gotta be careful here, because some of these menus are a little bit laggy in weird ways. Okay, I need to sell my items first, too. Footloose. Lurid Dust ×4. HP plus. Okay. We have enough heal kits to get us till Timbuktu, so that'll be nice. We'll buy 20 meats here. 20, 30, and then that. Item sort. Wow, I need to buy an aid kit, or antidote. That's the other thing I want to buy. Antidote. We'll buy the multi-med here, so I don't have to worry about it later. Item. So we are going to remove poison on Nina. Not aid kit. We will be healing up Lynn before the next boss, but I actually want to leave her poisoned. Yeah, Explode is really good. Power, the one that causes power charge is also pretty interesting, too. So we got 30 of both. Ideally, this will last me till the end of the game. As long as I don't accidentally use an additional bomb, we're good to go. Though the fact that holding forward slightly isn't really, like, visually easy to understand, there's a chance I'll throw one. You know what? Maybe I should set that up. Let's see if I could set that up with one of the KH ones, where she gets a spirit charge. Then I can, like, power boost her and show how much ridiculous damage Shatter can actually do with a perfect setup. So we got an empty floor here. Most of this is the game intends you to explore the side rooms. But for now, what we're going to be doing is worrying about the next room, because there's actually some enemies in here that drop a ton of money. And it's much easier to get through the room killing them than it isn't. Okay, so we got the good money farm, but the hard setup. This one's a little bit harder to set up, so we'll see what happens. Switch over to Lynn. So I want to get these bombs deep enough so that they'll hit the yellow goo and the enemies as I run in here. So what I gotta do is I gotta jet ASAP so I can get close enough, and I want to make sure to shoot them at a certain distance, or else Lynn won't have enough move to ignite the bombs here. No, not the plasma! I'm not doing it again! We're not doing the plasma thing. So the yellow goo can drop either Jolt, or Plasma Messier regular, and I don't like it. I'm gonna go buy the +1. I have enough money for it, and the extra strength that it adds is going to make pretty much everything guaranteed. Or at least close to guaranteed with the 2 power meals already on Ryu. I don't know, I'm really, like, trying to figure it out, too. I think it's pretty decent in some... Oh, wait. Okay, I figured it out. I've got a cross up. If I want to take a drink, I'm going to have to cross up, use my right hand to skip the cutscenes, and my left hand to get the water. Got it. Only took like 6 months to min-max the game, but we figured it out, boys. I don't know, I think like Spirit Charge only applies to a single attack, though. Because I was doing this thing where I went like side slash into ogre slash. Though, I think that might also remove the back attack bonus from... I think it should. I tested it out the other day, and I feel like Spirit Charge worked on reversal. Yeah, hey, Tekken Rider. I've seen you in the Discord a ton. It's good to see you drop by. I mean, I could also try it on Crimson Raid, too, which I think is 2 attacks. I don't know. The way that this game is written... It just like every other action game, things are kind of written in an awkward way where it makes it a little bit obtuse what they actually do. Because, like, Spirit Charge says it applies to the next turn, but I think it applies to a single attack. Or a single ability on the next turn, the first one that you use. I don't think it applies to the following abilities. So, like, Slice Spam is perfect for Power Charge, but it's trash. Well, I guess you could use it on Reversal Spam as well. Because you get a sharp ton of damage out of Reversal. Though, maybe it doesn't apply to Reversal at all because it's a formula rather than a static number. So yeah, we got the lucky item farm. Or money farm, but I would have preferred getting Jolt over the Plasma. Why'd I do that? We're just gonna take the Plasma +1 here. It's 100% worth. Okay, yeah. Should have just ignored them as usual. Oh, we can definitely set up Reversal. I mentioned it the other day. If we could get it in the run... But yeah, setting up Reversal is super easy. Floor 3, there's an orc that'll always counter. I think, yeah. So I set it up and let it counter me a couple of times by fiddling around doing like side slash, X slash, some other weak moves. And then I also eat a poison mushroom at some point with Ryu. So that I can shimmy it all the way down to turbo range. So I've got a plan. And then I realized that one free floor would be a really good one to just show all of the weapon skills from Ryu and kind of show why, unfortunately, there are some that are just bad and other ones that rise to the top. The one where you use prox bombs / bombs on the confused guys that don't follow you at all. That's another really good floor to just kind of spam whatever you want. I haven't figured out a setup for discharge, and I don't think I will because it's just a bit too much. I'd probably just set up reversal and then be like, yeah, this is basically discharge except good, because you don't have to get punched before it explodes. So this is another room where we don't... that is not a danger room, but we're going to kill everything here for a key to a blue chest. 1, 2, 3. We're no rush here, because we got to wait for them to eat the meat anyway. Want to make sure to hit the big guy, because he doesn't get knocked back nearly as far. Okay, we're looking for a frost drop. We got at least one. That's good. I'm not going to be picking up any more stuff besides what I specifically need, because I have enough money. Oh, confused room. Okay, well, I mean, that works. Basically an extra bait here. I don't really need it, so I'm just going to throw it in this room to get rid of it. So we need the key for this box, which has Lynn's Cleaner, and it comes with the ability Come Here. Super good. Hey Hey plus Come Here turns it into a giant cone that sucks enemies closer to Lynn. Wow. Hello? Okay, never mind. It's unwowed. Last one decided to take a break. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, we gotta damage down the enemies with bombs here by throwing them into the enemies to ignite them immediately. You can keep the meat. It's not worth the effort. 20 meat should last me to the end of the game, unless I'm a complete fool about it. There's only like 2 more danger rooms, and I need probably max 10 meat between those, so I have 14 extra sitting in my pocket right now. Yeah, we're doing this, for sure. Okay, we want to... That is not how I should have done that, but they got too close by the time I wanted to throw it, so I had to outrace them a bit to get some more space. And take a crack at this box, so hopefully we get a reflex. Ah! 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 A reflex, he says. 3 power meals deep, drunk on his own power. Oh boy, this is surely a thing. We're gonna sell this plasma. I don't need it. We're gonna keep the cleaner though. Weapon link. Put the cleaner on. Item sort. Use power meal. And frost. Sort. Skills. Want to put kick on. Frost. Wrong weapon. Hey, hey. Get out of the horse's mouth, yeah. So we want to get at least to level... We would like to get level 17 here. I've had some runs hit 18, but it's super infrequent. 16 is what we normally see. Yep. And since I couldn't level up off that, I'll just throw a little bit into Nina to have her be a stronger backup option. Let's see here. Okay, we don't have any extra garbage, so we're gonna buy 30 prox bombs here. I don't need that many. Yeah, we're good. I only need the 1 multi-med anyway, so I bought it earlier. I could buy some aid kits, but there's just... what? Yeah, it's this one. That threw me off. Alright, so we have all the power meals in the world, but the run's a little bit slow. Probably because I opened up to fucking fire off a power meal every time I saw one. You're really at no risk of losing the power meals until you get to here, because there's enemies, if they initiate combat, they will steal from you, if they feel like it. We're going to top off Lynn here, right before we head into storage. And then sort... Alright, let's go. We have an aid kit to heal up here. There's a couple of ways to do this. You can throw a flare with Nina and just stand on it, but that means I do lose her as a backup kill option. So we're going to take this the slow and steady way. Shield is actually nice here because it reduces the damage output these guys have. Because they can very much ruin your day. Ooh, we'll go here, I guess. This guy is basically a free turn. He always uses command, and same with the other one. Gonna go over here. Lyn being third to last is actually pretty decent. So ideally, Nina takes a hit here, and then the next one's on Lyn. If Nina dies, it stinks, but we're good to go. Oh, that's another free turn, so the rest of it's going to be Lyn, pretty much. Alright, now the question is, does he kill Nina or shoot Ryu? That level up mattered. We want to equip the cleaner here. Let's see here. I need to be... Whoosh. This is so kind of hard to set up. There we go. To come here. I'll be able to show you the cone that come here is later if we have the skill exhibition. Because I can actually show you, what is it? Blow something or other. Chat, you fill in the blanks. Yeah, we're good here. Blow up. Lyn has, Tier 3 has a lot of AoE moves that are very nice, honestly. So the whole goal here is to Dragon Breath the whole group in one go. Need to be over a little bit more, I think. Oh, that's super annoying. There we go. That was super low. That's fine. On the off chance I have to go to another turn, I'm going to bring Ryu back. But, ideally, Nina kills here with Frost. It's going to be a bit slow, but this is better than wasting another beam, in my opinion. Percentage is super important, and I really don't want to waste any here. Luckily, I killed most everything in that fight. The guys with a shield, if you don't kill them with a D-Breath, will, have a message pop up that their shield is broken. I'm gonna skip to Ryu's turn here, and I'm gonna throw the aid kit at Nina here. Every other point, I'm just gonna spam heal kits. We're doing that just in case, so maybe she survives if Xeno feels merciful. If not, meh. So we're gonna switch over to physical here, thankfully. Gonna do a single charge into a Twister, which is a very strong double hit move. That is a 3x multiplier, so it hits like a truck. And with charge added into the mix, we shouldn't have any issues with damage for a while. On triple power meals, at least. Nice single frame! Dope! Yeah, 5 damage is a single frame input. Very hard to hit. If you let go of the button before the beam starts, it does 0. So you actually have to let it fire off and then let go of it at the start frame. Or the second frame after it starts. Or whatever, you know what I mean. I'm just going to keep tripping over my words until I say it wrong the six different times. Alright, we're fine here. Ideally, Lyn goes down at some point, but it's fine. Because whenever all 3 characters are alive, the EXP is split 3 ways, but if somebody's dead, it's split half. Luckily, these early fights, EXP is not super important. That's what I thought. With a +1 and 1,000,000,001 power meals, we're fine. So luckily, killing Xeno here drops us a weapon. We can't equip it just yet, which is part of the reason why we went out of the way to buy that +1. Alternatively, you could just equip the Plasma Mazer if you get the lucky drop like I did, but I tried doing that last run, and I underdamaged literally everything, so I'd rather not have to deal with that. It's not that big of a deal. You normally can just take a couple extra turns to get through it, but it just kind of feels bad when you're like 60 damage short on everything. You have to undragon and slap him a couple of times to get him down. At this point, I'm going to be kind of skipping power-up boxes. I'll check a couple towards the end game that are literally right on the beaten path, but triple power meal, I can't get much better here. The only thing I could do is spike a reflex, and since power meals are kind of like not going to be helpful at this point, it means I only have like one item out of the draw pool from the box. I don't think I talked about it in this run, but it's 16 frames for each box, and it cycles through each one of those frames and then restarts once it hits the end. Some boxes have the same item for each one of those frames, so no matter when you break it, it drops the same thing, like a heal kit or something like that. A lot of the power-up boxes that we're looking at have 5, 6, maybe 7 items in that pool. And not only that, but there's a couple of frames where you get nothing if you hit it. So it can be very hard to actually get the power-up items. They're functionally random. 3 power meals is pretty absurd. You're lucky if you see, like, one good item. Okay, maybe I should just do that. Let the guy get closer so the tap dash always works. I don't think that'll change anything. I should probably just learn the right method. Which we all know is never going to happen. At least not before the relay, or the race. Luckily, if you get pulled into that fight, the guy just runs away anyway. So you can let him run away to the door, or you can run away. Doesn't matter which. Another danger room, another $1. Okay. Okay. All right. Four, 6, 8, 10, 12. I know I used more, but I'm not sure if that second set actually hit everything. And that's why, right there. Annoying little jerk. So you can get a bunch of money from this room. The only thing we're worried about is the fire blast here. We'll need that just in case Ryu stops one-shotting everything. Like right here, there's a box. Okay, no more boxes. Thank you, game. At this point, I'm hitting, like, more power meals are still better. It will lower damage ranges, but the chances of getting more power meals is exponentially lower. I mean, it's more or less the same, but you know what I mean, gambler's fallacy type thing. So, like, more just kind of isn't worth it in my mind at this point. Because you do lose a little bit of time slashing each box. Like, 1/6 of a second. Something like that. I think it's like 10 or 20 frames for a slash, if I remember correctly. Okay, so we're definitely doing the correct Tantra, because I moved Nina the wrong spot. You can do a different Tantra fight here, where instead of just charging, you hit him with 2 twisters. But my counter's in good enough shape that I'm not worried about it. Closer to 20, okay. Yeah, so it would be like 1/3 of a second almost then, per each slash. And that's not counting checking the boxes as well, which obviously takes a little bit more time because it's not like a set animation speed. You actually have to identify it and have it go through your neurons and all that nonsense. So once we get the key here, we can go either path, or both. You can backtrack and kill the other guy too, but we're going to take the easier route with Dagon here. Dagon, luckily, can just be spammed to death with prox bombs, so we're fine here. He should only take 10 if you do it right, 20 if you do it wrong. I'm gonna use like 11 or something like that, I think, just to be a little bit safe. Because if you set Dagon up in the right spot in the exit door, you can actually get multiple hits off the prox bombs and double hit him with it, which means we chip the HP down to like a bomb kill range pretty quickly. This room's actually fortunately set up so that, like, we don't need to have meat on the floor for this to work. So we can utilize all 3 traps at once if we wanted to. One, two, three, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I moved a little bit there, because if you just spam the bombs in the same spot, you're going to miss with the last one, which is really awful, because you're missing out on a lot of damage. There you go. Easy peasy. Perfect Damagon. I will use that reflex shortly, but I need to level up first, so not much of an issue. And Tantra is going to be right over here, which he gets powered up depending on how many of his friends we kill. Okay, that's interesting. What the? Sure, dude. I don't even know what to say at this point. Skills. Fire Blast. Okay. 4 power meals and a reflex. That room is like one you always do that in, because there can be a significant amount of decent-ish weapons or EXP drops that'll push you up an extra level. I guess I got my infinite power seed again. Thankfully, the game is seemingly taking mercy on me today, so it normally has no patience or chill. Ideally, we hit level 25 there, but I was a little bit short because I haven't gotten any extra party EXP from the boxes, but 4 power meals and a dream. So we always want to hit enemies from behind for the bonus crit chance. We're going to have to de-transform, unfortunately. Or I can just end my turn prematurely because I'm an idiot. Well, that might have actually been faster. I gotta be careful. I keep making that mistake. The side room there does have a lot of power-up boxes, some chances at some pretty nice prizes, and another save token. There's fairly... I'd say there's more than enough save tokens in the game. If you know how to get through the early segments, you can get through this game in one go without having to, like, soul reset too much, I don't think. But it is much easier once you've done a couple of runs, so you know kind of how to deal with everything. Nope, we don't want to buy any more stuff there. I could identify my weapons, but the Plasma +1 will be good enough for the next boss, so I don't need to upgrade just yet. We're hoping that this little guy has something for me. Mandu +1 and a dream. Okay. So, Mandu +1 is the second best option. The best one we would like is Celtis +1. It has humongous attack, but does have some built-in negatives automatically. It only has a single skill slot with Slice input as its only attack, and it does have a 20% accuracy penalty. So it is bad in its own respect, but it's very good when we're only using Dragon to hit everything anyway. And since Dragon doesn't cost AP to move around the field, we can always hit everything from behind. Yeah, I think Mandu does have a similar slot limitation, but it doesn't have the accuracy penalty. Took that room a little bit wide since the enemy noticed me. We'll hit this for EXP, maybe? Nope. Okay. At this point, we are not doing stat boxes anymore. 4 and 1 is absolutely nutty. I do get the feeling that if I opened up some more, I probably would get more power meals, but there's a point of diminishing returns. Especially since I have the Mandu +1, I'm feeling pretty high on myself right now. But yeah, the Celtis can be a bit dangerous too, because it has a pretty nasty weight penalty. What do we have here? Oh, we have this room. So these little guys will dash at us when we get close enough, so a little bit of tight movement will keep us from being in danger. But if you hit them after they hit the wall, they just turn into an EXP pinata. So if I do get this version, I always turn around for the extra 150. It's not a huge time loss, especially since we go out of our way to hit EXP crates all the time anyway. Honestly, I might even be done hitting EXP crates, thinking about it. There's only one cluster of crates I'm interested in hitting, because there is a cluster in the next area, next dungeon area, that can drop AP charge, which is a really good backup item. When used, AP charge will refill a full bar of AP as long as you your AP isn't already all the way full. Okay, there we go. Hello? Okay. I'm glad that I have the Mandu, so we're just gonna go. I don't need to change weapons here. We just stick with the +1. It'll be strong enough, because unfortunately we're at this point where we don't have enough strength to charge single charge anymore, so we're actually going to have to double charge here to get rid of most of the enemies. There is a cool side quest here where if you talk to Lynn, you can do a dungeon segment while Nina is convalescing here. Nina will have silence inflicted in this battle, but we're not planning on using her. I could use multi-meds to fix that, but it's not important. So we're going to have to charge twice here to get enough power. Even with the Mandu and all the power meals, trust me, it's needed. The damage is going to be really nutty, though. We could Dragon Breath these guys to save a little bit of time from the hallway, but Dragon Breathing after charging is even more difficult because it ramps up faster and hits its plateau quicker. So it's much harder to time the damage values. I think everything here is about 800 HP. And as you can tell, we're hitting like 11 grand. I think you hit like 600 or 700 off a single charge with the levels that we're at. So we'd be just under damaging. Even if I put on the Mandu, is what I'm saying in that situation. Maybe if we crit every single one of them, we could kill, but like the one girl at the door, she has her back to the door, so you couldn't crit her anyway. The other two you could crit if you were feeling a bit froggy about it. And one of the cool things here is we actually get back a full HP Nina without silence. It's one of the few places where you get a free refill. But once again, we're not planning on actually engaging in combat outside of insta-gibbing everything with either dragon or traps. I believe that's the save token variant. So there's two versions of these rooms with these little thieves. As with every pattern, every floor has two different variants. That particular variant, where they're looking at you, they'll always chase you down. If you have the variant where they're all looking at each other, they will run away from you. Luckily, we're at the point where our dragon counter is settled in since we've switched over to physical, and I have a abundance. I would say not a massive abundance, but enough that I am very comfortable with where I am right now. So I need to be I don't need to be nearly as aggressive with maintaining D counter as I would normally. So you want to... I dashed through that room twice. You could just dash continuously. There's 3 clear goo in that room that'll just pop up and ruin your day. It was a multi-meds, and that's like a ranger +4, so we're just not going to bother. There is one skill I will be showing off, Ogre Slice, that is reasonable to get early game. If you get steel on your shield, you can actually steal it from the first boss, Cyclops. But just because it's reasonable doesn't mean it's a good idea. Because it does take a while to get the key and open up the chest for steel. Excuse me. Already wrong. Okay. Oh yeah, I should be using my HP notes that I just added. That would be nice. So we want to start with either Violet Blade or Plasma here to make sure that I outspeed. Because everything else has a pretty nasty speed penalty. We're going to move you after Bosch. And then we're going to equip Mandu here and dive. The idea here is we're going to charge and bounce him back and forth with Twister. And if he somehow survives that, I can run over there and finish him with Ryu if it's close enough. If it's not, we're going to spam spells with Nina. I'd imagine he's going to die on this next Twister because of that crit, actually. Yep. That's the one nice thing about Twister, is you have 2 shots at getting a crit. Just knock him towards Nina twice? Okay. I'll try and remember that when I'm actually, like, going for a PB. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I see what you mean. Because you'll do enough damage plus Fire Blast that you'll kill him before he takes his turn. Yeah, that makes sense. So I could identify weapons here, or I could drop by the weapon store to see if there's a better one, but 4 power meals and a +1 Mandu is GG. We're good to go. Oh, wait, actually, that's wrong. Identify. Okay, what was the sword? Ranger +4. That would have been okay. Alright, I almost lied there for a minute. I do need to put the Violet Blade on. Otherwise, I'll have an issue without speeding the second-to-last boss, and we'll need more than 1 reflex at that point. Probably like 4. Mandu is safe in most cases, but Violet Blade will allow us to outspeed things we probably shouldn't be able to. Honestly, it's a very good middle-of-the-road sword. It's just not as strong as some of your other options. And the Violet Death that comes with it is kind of interesting. Something I'll be able to show off during this skill exhibition. It actually does 2 hits. The first one only does 20% damage, but ignores defense. Then I think the second one crits. Okay, yeah. Okay, that would have been really scuff if he scooted around the corner. I'd have been really mad about that. Alright, so we're headed to the last danger room, where suffering is born and dreams are broken. This room is either extremely easy or extremely hard, depending on your skill level. Okay, we got the freebie. Got it. So there's going to be boxes in this room, which can make it harder for a skilled player, but it makes it easier for a bad player. So what I'm going to do is scooch over here, throw a meat in the boxes, and now they can't get it. Come here, buddy. I want to make sure he's far enough away that I can trigger him without the other guys getting dragged in. I don't need to change my weapons yet, so we're good to go. Wanted to make sure to get that last little bit of EXP. I can open that box for an AP charge, but 1 is not enough to move the needle. Ugh. Oh, yeah, I guess I could do that. Every time I've thrown it, I've screwed it up, so... Oh my god, get me out of here. Okay, so I wasted a lot of D counter there because the camera in this game is inverted and there's not an option to change it back. And sometimes dyslexia just takes hold. Are you not? That was just rude. My only option there was to D-dash or just risk it. 106 because you forgot a 7th sense. Oh, 66. Wow. Brutal. I think one of my runs had 5 or 6 power meals, I think. Because I kept looking for a reflex. Hello? Let's see here. This... Alright, we got a reflex, so... Normally I kill those guys for EXP, but this run's actually really good, so I'll eschew the minute time loss, or 3 or 4 second time loss of smacking all of them. Party, dump the EXP into Ryu. Might be able to level up after Doofus. Oh, I didn't roll my notes down. Yeah, 310. We're at 310. Okay, so Ryu should be able to do this. We can throw down some G-flares here to get some extra damage in. We're at the point where all the bosses are going to get a gimmick here called Absolute Defense Field. The easiest way to explain it, each boss has a set amount of damage they will block before they take damage in a single combo. So we need to go high and hard here. Double Charge and Double Twister should be enough, as long as our rolls are high enough. Worst case scenario, we have to throw an extra vortex. We might have to. Never mind. Thank you, game. Even with 3 power meals, it was still too close, in my opinion. I think we low rolled that first one pretty hard. So now we have some extra D counter here. Normally you keep enough to, okay, you can't dash here. That's what I thought. Normally you keep enough to make sure you can vortex there, and then you burn it in this area for movement speed. Each D dash saves about a second, so percentage turns directly into time save. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that. There is a save back there I will load from if Jesuit screws me over. But otherwise, we are good to go here. I just need to make sure that I maintain up to 58.7% before I go to Cupid. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of dashing, but only where it makes sense. There is quite a bit to explore here, and there is 2 different bosses. Or 4 different bosses, rather. We'll only be doing 2 of them. And depending on the route that you take will determine what items you get available. Item... Oh, just drop the multi-meds then. I should have dropped the heal. I kept the heal kits because it's my only healing option, but... that is going to mean I probably spam a heal in one of the boss fights. So these little Pandora's boxes, if you kill them in 1 turn, they'll drop a 7 cent. It's an incredibly powerful buffing item that is functionally... the easiest way to explain it is basically it's half as strong as the charge ability. And the Dragon Transformation won't delete it, which is the coolest part about it. Alright, we're gonna just dash here. These little guys will ignore you sometimes, or they'll just run at you, so... So I still got an extra 0.7% on the way to Jesuits, huh? Luckily, that's like the last whole dash I'll need to do, which eats counter. You'd prefer to tap dash, but... So I don't need to swap out my weapon. The only time I need to take it off is if I have the Celtis because of the massive speed penalty it has. So we'll stick with the Mandu for now. The unfortunate part is the damage is going to look like we could have charged once, but trust me, we can't. And it's going to look like maybe we could have Twister or Vortexed instead of Twistered. Trust me, we can't. Thing I'm trying to do here is move Cupid away from Oncots here, so that I don't accidentally hit Oncots, who's invincible, and lose my run. But yeah, the AD field varies depending on each enemy, but basically, when you're not in Dragon, you're going to use about... If you have a full AP bar, you're going to use like half of your AP, maybe a third of it, just breaking through that shield to actually do damage, unless you've stacked buffs to the moon and have good levels. Right now, we don't have enough strength to get away with that nonsense. But luckily, there's 2 of these. Part of the reason why we take this route, because it's 1, easier. The bosses really aren't that much harder. And the 7th senses being guaranteed makes the final boss fight a lot safer. Won't be able to D-dash much, so I need to burn it out here. Could have saved some more time if I D-dashed a bit more earlier. Jesuits is the hardest boss in the game, in my opinion. With this route, anyway. Because he does this Shadow Walk, so we can't target him. Now we need to bait him into a G-Flare to kill him. To break his Shadow Walk. And we need to layer these so that he gets hit by multiple at the same time. It's wrong. Nope. Yes. Wrong. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to eyeball this one. I think that's fine. As long as 2 of these count as him walking over him at the same time, we're okay. If not, we're going to have a hard time. Because this is the only turn I can guarantee which direction he's going to walk. Luck, hopefully he gets double hit here. Yep, alright. All three of them were layered, huh? So this is going to be a bit slow with the pre-Primus, because that does percent. This is why I kept her poisoned, so that she would die here, and I could split the EXP between Nina and Ryu. Yeah, Vexation is absolutely cheeks. We're gonna double down on the charge here again. I gotta be careful with the way that I hit Jesuits here, so I can still hit him in the back. Because it's basically a 50-50 if I land the attack from anything other than his back. His back is really screwy, too. It looks like it's a lot more deceptive than it is. Somewhere between the back of his head and his back right leg. Haven't had any issues once I found out his back was, like, not the way that it looks. And that is the last D-dash. We saved. We did not spend 0.4%, which is, like, 4 or 5 dashes, I think. But yeah, the right side fights are abysmal. The first one, Hortensia, is ideally supposed to be like a game of chess, but she's very hard to actually kill. Because you need to move across the room. It takes forever. Dragon, it's probably not too bad, but still. And then the other one is Bosch's father and 2 of his stooges. So that would be a D-breath fight. Because we really don't have a good way to group them together where they don't all get to take a turn first. So we're heading into the final boss gauntlet here, so I want to make sure to switch to Violet here for the speed boost, and spam EXP into Ryu. We're 31, that's frustrating. But luckily we got a bunch of power meals to make up the difference. We should be okay here. Long as we hit 33, which we should hit 32 here and have enough to get 33 from the party EXP. Oh, can you just... You can just kill Vexation. You don't have to kill the ads. I didn't know that. We could use Mandu on... Need to stop talking. We do have a power boost, but that's not going to affect anything. That'll actually get deleted when we transform into a dragon. Okay. Then we want to charge up twice. Second verse, same as the first. But yeah, that 7 cents is going to allow us to do a lot more damage here. So being under-leveled is less terrifying, but it is a bit on the bingo, so... I tell you what, I do have a minor panic attack every time he, like, doesn't immediately just buckle. Uh-oh. Am I gonna be 32? There's no way. No, I'm 33, okay. I thought I only saw one level up, but it does both of them at the same time. Oops. Alright, so we got Violet Blade back on, so we can outspeed. True. I'm not used to checking it yet. I have it in my notes. I saw it earlier and I was like, I think I'll, like, color it green. That probably will help me notice it. So, Ryu's gonna outspeed here because of the reflex. I'm gonna put Mandu on. We're gonna transform. You can use the 7 cents here if you forgot to use it in Elion. Fortunately, charge twice. And then we're going to take his back for the speed crit bonus. Just get deleted, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to be able to do a different variation of Boss Drake to burn a little bit more counter here. Since I'm at 89%, we're going to charge 3 times, attack with Twister twice instead of 3 times. Which means less chasing him around. Nina's going to go first again, though, so I have to swap her turn, put on 7 cents. Like I said, Power Boost will not do anything here. It'll get deleted once we change into a dragon, so that's not going to happen. You can charge up to 10 times, but the first 3 are the only ones that increase your physical damage. I believe. The rest are for dragon breathing. I don't know why you can even charge 3 times, honestly. It's a bit absurd. So luckily this guy has really bad speed, so we just hit him from the front and it's fine. Unless you're on Celtis. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you miss this 7 cents, you're cooked. Absolutely cooked. Even if you have AP charges. I don't know, I thought the... Whatever. So, we got a D breath here to win. There's going to be another cutscene, and then that will be the end here. Oh, wow. Just barely a 69. Alright. Hello? Thank you. Excuse me. I guess I'm just gonna have to retime it. The fuck did I do? Did I turn off my numlock? Nope, that's not it. I guess I did turn off my numlocks. Hello? Whatever, man. I saw it at 108, and I was like, yo, I can... A bit frustrating it wasn't a 68, but I'll take a very low 69. It's pretty decent. I mean, it's actually another minute PB, more or less. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, right. I need to... I guess I need to stop the recording here so that I can get the right time. Still faster than... Yeah, well... I mean, to be fair, we've updated our strats massively, so, like... David's at a massive disadvantage against us with the strats that are available now. Ugh. Though, much props to David's run. Like, we went back to using his bomb strat in Danger Room 1. Fucking based. Fucking based! Rename. Yeah, I actually reached out to David to ask if he was going to be on site and would be interested in doing commentary. But, unfortunately, did not work out that way. Let's see here. I guess it's, I guess I can just do 69 at this point. I think it was like 16, but I gotta double check once the video processes. I mean, if we did it the way where we'd have online commentary, I would have asked you or Dyne 100% Rex. But if we have on-site commentary, we don't allow off-site commentary because it takes too much time to set up. Yeah, I had a whole percent here. That's why it wasn't an oh. Man, if I was considering using this percent in Trinity, actually. Or on the way to Trinity. Damn, if I'd just been a bit more aggressive. It is what it is. Oh, yeah, that's right. I get the no signal bullshit. 16, yeah. We'll call it a 69-16. That's nice. Finally. Oh, yeah. Safety saves will fucking kill you. I'm only doing the one in storage because I think it's a good agreed-upon point. But I have a memory card with backup saves for both, for Jesuits and the final boss gauntlet, just in case things go stupid. And quick saves so that I don't have to go to the end of the earth. Alright, so let's get into the KH nonsense, because that's where we need to be. Nah, this